case, sorry this took so long to get to you, but here it is. It's a basic shoulder mobility protocol that I like to use a lot with clients. I will send you the template. It's just called shoulder mobility. It should take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Even if you don't have 15 minutes, you could just do one set. That would take you maybe 5 minutes, and that's definitely better than nothing. I would recommend doing it first thing in the morning, although obviously at any point in time it's going to be beneficial, but especially if you're really stiff as you're waking up first thing in the morning is going to be key. The first two things listed are normalization of the tissues. Go ahead and skip those for right now. In about 2 weeks, I'd like to have a different conversation with you and add those in. But for present, I would say go ahead and do the first circulation exercise. And basically you're gonna take a fist. It's called rub, it just lists rub and scrub shoulder complex. So you're gonna take your fist and just rub all over top of all your deltoid muscles, those shoulder muscles right there. About 30 seconds across, so nothing excessive. And then rub it into those traps too. I know you said your upper traps are bothering you. Chances are they're at a constantly contracted state, which isn't cool. So we need to be able to get them to relax. Just go right over top of the shoulder joint. You can go down the bicep if you want to. All you're doing is rubbing and scrubbing across the tissue. About 30 seconds for each side. First main exercise. If you have a resistance band, great, use it. If not, literally a belt will work, okay? The resistance is not super imperative on this one. A little wider than shoulder width apart, you're gonna step and do a rotation and take the arms back, and then bring them forward as you step back. So it's a forward step, alternate feet, as the band rotates around the shoulder, or excuse me, as your arms are gonna rotate your shoulders. Don't worry if your elbows don't get straight, okay? If it looks something like this, that's okay, all right? We're just trying to start to kind of clear out the joint capsule and really get good range of motion. Eventually you want to be doing it where, yep, arms can be a little, our hands can be closer together, arms are a little straighter, okay? But nothing excessive too, all right? So that's the first exercise. Second is a crab single leg SL, when you see that, a single leg squat. So you're gonna get down into a crab position and the hands are gonna be behind you just like as a kid. Lift up into a crab position and then you're just gonna do forward. So all you're doing is a motion, a squatting motion. Let me slide back here. A squatting motion and lifting one leg up off of the ground and then coming back. And lift the other leg up off of the ground and then coming back. All right, so this will be good in stretching out those hands, arms, and then obviously the shoulders are gonna get a stretch. When you come in this forward position, you're gonna get a stretch through the front part of the shoulder, so that's incredibly important. If it bothers your hands, let me know. That would be where the melting would come into place. Next is a dowel rod rotation. I use a broomstick. Just nice overhand grip, and all you're gonna do is these halos. So it lists as a dowel rod halo. All right, it's just a rotation, and 5 each side or each direction. Ideally, we want to get the arms to where they're pretty straight. Don't worry if it looks like this to start. The point, again, is just to really be moving the humerus and the scapula. All right, then last but not least, staggered unilateral overhead press with rotation. So you're gonna take a staggered stance, which is just a split stance. Keep your back heel lifted and have the dumbbell in that back heel. Hang on here just a second, I gotta pop up. The dumbbell and the same dumbbell, kettlebell, whatever. The load isn't nearly as important as having some load and getting the arms straight. So back heel, same side arm with, I have a kettlebell here. Press overhead while rotating away from that back leg and come back to center. Press overhead, rotate. So there's very intentional things why you're in this stance and why we're having you do these two different movements with the arms. Again, more important than anything heavy is getting the arm up and straight. I'd rather have you here with a light load than here with a heavy load. And again, don't worry if the arm doesn't come completely straight yet, that will come. Then obviously you're gonna switch stance, switch and go the other direction as well. Do these exercises daily. 5 days a week is great. If you want to do them 7 days a week, awesome, but just plan to do it, I would say each morning if you can. And let me know how it goes after day 2, after week 1, and then I'd like to be able to talk about adding a couple more things in. So, good luck.